Hello, welcome back to Healing Mama Podcast. I am Val, aka Healing Mama. Today is episode 7, Let Them. So, this one I'm kind of just winging, bear with me if it seems more like a ramble. Really just had something going on this week, and I feel like this is something that is important to talk about. I started reading a book by Mel Robbins, The Let Them Theory. And oh my goodness, guys, it has really opened my eyes to a lot of things and how I can cause unnecessary stress on myself. And we'll dive into it. So I'll go ahead and I'll kick it off with the quote. Let them go. Let them have their opinions and judge your decisions. Let them think the very worst of you. Let them make fun of the great things you do. Let them have it all wrong. But never let them make you feel that you don't belong. Never let them make you question your worth because you deserve to take up space on this earth. Let them be whoever they choose because it's absolutely nothing to do with you. Let them believe whatever they think they know. Let yourself be free and just let them go. I love that quote. So like I said, this whole book, this whole experience, this whole journey that I'm going through, it's all in stages, guys. It's in stages in terms of healing. It's in stages in terms of realizing what's going on and what I have to look at deeper in myself. And recently situations have arose where like I said before, I feel like life, God, universe, whatever you choose to call it, will continue to bring you these situations to where it's something that you have to look at deeper in yourself. And so these situations continue to arise until we adjust and change whatever it is that we need to work on. And so a ton of that has been happening lately. And I know that it's because I need to work on myself in these situations. And the specific situations are like the not giving people the power and the authority and the control over taking me out of center and taking me out of my peace. And that's something that I continue to struggle with. And I feel like once I am triggered and I'm put in a situation, if I have meditated, dwelled on my affirmations and really worked on myself that day, I'm not necessarily affected as much as the days that I don't spend enough time filling my own cup. And so, in reading this book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, I am realizing that it's the little things that take away my power, that take away my peace. And so, it's all about the let them, right? If somebody disagrees with how I feel, or somebody's talking behind my back, or somebody is gossiping about me, or, for example, recently I had somebody say, hey, she thinks she's all that because she's doing this podcast on healing and she thinks she's perfect. And that was a little bit triggering, right? Because I know deep down inside, I'm doing this because I want to share my experiences. I want to help in any kind of way. And I want to have people realize that they're not alone in whatever situations that they're going through. And so it hurt, right? It stung. And so it did take me out of my peace for a bit. And then I realized, hey, she's entitled to her own opinion. She's entitled to feel that way. And it's not my job to try to change her mind or change her feelings or control the situation or the narrative that's being posed about me. Again, other people's perception of me is not my reality. And so realizing now in those situations that arise that are like that, I'm going to let them. If you feel like I think that I'm better than you, I'm going to let you feel that way. If you feel like you don't want to talk to me because you're upset for a specific reason, I'm going to let you do that. And then in turn, it's a 2-part phase. Let them and then let me. So speaking to my higher power and saying, let me realize that I don't need to give this person the power, that I don't need to relinquish my power to them, and that I can keep within my peace and I can control that I have the power of not letting this person affect my feelings. And so I feel like that's something that I've struggled with, right? Because when I go through these situations, I give people my peace and I give them the power over me. And at the end of the day, that's truly what it is we're giving these people that bother us the power. And so I struggle with that at times. And so realizing that I have the authority to no longer do that, no longer give them that power over me. It's something that I'm working on, and I'm not perfect, and nobody's ever going to be perfect, but the whole goal is that we try. And so in these situations, I am learning. I had a situation recently where, you know, like I've said, I will go to bat for the people that I love, and I will be your voice, and I will hold a place for you in my heart when you feel like you need a place and you need a voice. And, it caused some issues, it caused some drama, and, I wasn't necessarily the best person that I could be. Yes, I didn't, speak out of turn or disrespect anybody, but I took it to a level that it didn't need to be taken to, in the sense of I put our business out there. And when I say out there, I put it out there in, a family group chat. And I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I just want to give you guys a heads up of what kind of person this person really is. And did I need to do that? 100%. I did not, right? But in the moment, not making excuses for myself, but in the moment, I was so triggered that I was like, okay, like this person is really, really messing with the person that I love. And secondly, everybody needs to know that is involved with this person what kind of true colors this person really has. And that's not for me to do, right? So I was out of line in that sense. I was out of line in the sense that I was trying to expose this person. So who am I to do that? And, it did ruffle feathers within my family, and it caused, I won't necessarily say rifts, but it caused issues to her. For example, I'll be fully transparent with you. My grandma, who I love with all of my heart. She's going to be 82 in October. I call her every single day and she tells me, Mija, did you really have to do that? And it stopped me in my tracks, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, I know the answer. The answer is no, I didn't really have to do that. But I didn't tell her that, right? I said, Grandma, if somebody was to hurt the person that you love, how would you respond? How would you react? Right? And she just said, I know, but it's okay. Leave it in God's hands, this, that, and the other. Right? And so when I hung up and we got off the phone, I sat there in my thoughts. I sat there and I went through everything in my head. And I went through the fact that I didn't need to do that. Right? But in the moment, I didn't stop and pause. I was just on the go. I was triggered. I was coming from a bad place. And in my head, the way that I made it seem like I wasn't the bad person is that I'm going to tell everybody that this person is this, that, and the other. Here's the proof, right? And again, I didn't need to do that. But I was so working off of my emotions and my feelings, I didn't take a step away, and I was working in a heated mentality. And so to know that, my grandma tells me, hey, you didn't need to do that. Did you really need to do that? And she's right. I didn't need to do that. I could have said, let them, right? Let them be the kind of person that they are. Let them do that to people. It's not my job to expose them. And God, higher power, let me learn that I don't need to take it into my own hands. Let me be okay with knowing that you got this, right? Everything that is happening in life is happening for me, not to me. So let me be okay and not let me try to play God and take it into my own hands. Let me not expose others because that is not my duty. That is not my job. And like I said, I'm working on this, guys. I am always going to be transparent and I'm going to tell you my faults. And then I did mess up in this aspect of I was heated, I was in the moment, and it's not an excuse at all. But I want you to feel like, hey, I've done this, Val. I've been in your situation, and know that it's okay for us to realize after the fact that we did come from a place of anger versus a place of healing. We came from a place of hurt, right? Because you're hurting the person that I love. So I'm coming at you in a different way than if I am, hey, let me just take a break. Let me put my phone down. Let me walk away. Let me think about this. And let me apply the let them theory. Let them, and then higher power, let me. And so now, I want to apply that. And it's something that, even after that situation, I had another situation arise and it was like, okay, this person is feeling some type of way about me. Then you know what? You're entitled to feel that way. You're entitled to be upset. You're entitled to think about me however you want to think about me. It is not my job to change the narrative that you have in your head about me. It is not my job to sit and sulk because you feel some type of way. It's my job to let you feel, right? Let you feel. So I'm going to let you be. I'm going to leave you in your peace, leave you in your space. And God, let me, higher power, let me be okay with that. Let me be okay with the fact that others feel some type of way about me, and help me to realize that other people's perspectives of me is not my reality. And that is so hard because growing up, I felt less than. I felt unworthy. I felt not good enough. I felt like I was placed on the back burner. And so now, as an adult, trying to learn and heal and reparent myself, feel it, heal it, let it go. Like I said, this situation is going to continue to arise and come up time after time because I haven't mastered it yet. And I don't know if I ever will, but I have new tools to add to my belt. Again, it's the let them theory. The whole idea around it is you let that person feel how they feel. If you had friends and they're not calling you and they just kind of went MIA, let them, right? Let them go, let them be busy, let them live their lives. Everybody gets busy, and ask your higher power, let me be okay with this. Let me make room for more friends. Let me make room for time with myself. And so there's ways to look at things, right? So there's a positive and negative in everything. But if we choose to focus on the negative, that's what we're going to see. And it's not a matter of feeling just the let them and leaving it at that. Like I said, it's 2 stages. You let them feel, be, do whatever it is. But if you do just leave it at that, then you do stay feeling less than and a little bit lonely because you are just letting them, and you're just like, okay, it's almost like I'm letting it go. I'm not thinking about it. There was no resolution to the let them at the end, right? The resolution in the let them theory is let me, right? Because when you let them, you're closing it off. You're saying, okay, I'm going to let the situation go. There's a difference between letting the situation go and leaving it alone and getting your power back. So again, you let them do them, and let me follow it up with the let me, because that's when you get your power back. That's when you get your peace back. And so you're wrapping it up and it goes full circle because you're saying, let me be okay with this. Let me make space for this. Let me heal in this. Let me realize this. And that's how it wraps full circle. And it's not easy. 100% it's not easy. It's going to hurt at times in the sense of it could be the people that you love. And for example, my daughter, sometimes she is ruthless. She can say things that really do hit me at my core. And I'm like, wow, this is a person that I gave birth to, that I love with all my heart. And you don't know what you just said kills me. And so realizing, right, when she does come, at me from a certain place or a place of anger, I'm going to let her feel the way she feels. That's her truth in that moment. Does it need to be my truth? No. Do I need to accept it and hold it in and dwell on it and be sad about it because this is what I think she feels? No, because 99% of the time, she's just in a mood, and she knows me well enough to bring up little things that she knows is going to trigger me. And so she'll test me, and she'll test the limits, right? So I need to learn to say, let her feel the way she feels. Let her be in this attitude. And God, higher power, let me be okay with not taking it in and not taking it personally into heart. And let me realize that what she's saying isn't true, right? Because her perspective is not my reality. Her perspective is her reality, maybe at times, but it's not mine. And so there's multiple stages in this, right? Where we're doing the let them, we're doing the other people's perspective of me is not my reality. And it's just an overall evolving thing that I'm learning. And as I learn, I wanted to share with you guys. And like I said, this let them theory is just another tool that I'm going to add to my tool belt, because it is something that I do feel like if I apply it correctly can definitely help me and help me be able to remain in my power, remain in my peace. And that's my number one thing, is I never want to give people the authority to take away my peace or to take away my power, because I sat in that for so long as a kid and feeling like I was powerless and I didn't have control of my situation. And now, being 35 years old, going through this healing journey, I'm able to realize that it's up to me if I relinquish that power. It's up to me if I give people the authority to take me out of my peace. And so realizing that is life-changing. And like I said, I'm not perfect, and every day is going to be a journey and a struggle and a realization of sorts. I'm learning every single day, and I always repeat this affirmation every day in every way. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for the truths that I'm able to find when I sit in my silence. I'm grateful for learning new tools to help me apply to my life that can make my life better, can bring me peace, can keep me in my peace. And I just want to give a huge shout out and humongous kudos to my mama, because I will tell you, I have seen so much growth in her. And when I started this journey, I just told my higher power, hey, I want to do this not for fame, not for likes, views, to go viral. I want to do this because I want to help people from the bottom of my heart. I want to help people feel like they're not alone. I want to share the tools of healing. And she is, I would say, one of my number one followers. She will call me and we'll talk about the episodes. We'll have conversations, when I am a little flustered or when she's feeling flustered. And I feel like through this healing journey, her and I have really grown and built a bond, right? Because again, when you start to heal, other people see it. And so she's seen it and she wants to heal and she wants to grow. And we are kind of each other's cheerleaders in the sense of, hey, if I fall, you got me. If you fall, I got you. So I encourage you to find friends, family members who can understand your journey, can understand the healing path that you're on, and that can support you when sometimes you don't have grace for yourself and you need somebody to say, hey, it's okay. Have grace with yourself. And then you remember, oh, yeah, I do need to have grace. This is new for me. I am learning, and this is a new experience. And I used to act like this, but I'm not trying to do that anymore. So I'm going to act like this, and I'm going to learn that I'm not perfect, and this is something that I need to grow and master, and it's a life skill. And so huge kudos to my mom. Mom, I love you so much. Thank you for being there when I need to be reminded of grace, and I will always hold space in my heart for you. I love you. The growth that you've shown has been tremendous, and I applaud you. I know that we're going to be okay, and I know that we are growing every day in every way. And I'm so proud of you. And to the rest of you that are watching, listening, supporting, you're growing too, you're learning. See the comments, I see the messages, the DMs, and I am so excited that you guys are open enough to share with me and telling me your side of your story and your healing journey. And I applaud you as well. And we can do this every day in every way. We're learning something, we're growing, we're healing, and we're becoming better versions of ourselves for the next generation. And so I love you all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. If you can, please like, share, comment, follow, whatever the case is. Just I appreciate the love in general. I am on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Riverside is my hosting site temporarily. I don't know if I'm going to stay with it. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm on Apple Podcast. And like I said, if you know of any other podcast sites that you would like me to post and I am not posting on them, go ahead and email me, DM me, and I will go ahead and do my best to get my videos on there. So I send you so much love, peace, joy, happiness, and until next time, bye guys.